So RIPPER is the latest hero to be added to Crash Team Rumble, and he is pretty difficult to play if you don't know his abilities well. So in this video, I'll be going through his general info, important key movesets, recommended powers to use, tips and tricks to play him well, and an alternative playstyle to play him as. Starting off with his general info, straight up, RIPPER is one of the hardest characters to play because of the many things he can do with his abilities, which can get quite complicated to master. Plus, he is not very tanky as a blocker as well, so you need to ensure that you are aware of how his abilities work. However, to combat his lack of tankiness, he is the most mobile blocker in the game as he can travel at amazing distances in mere seconds. Plus, he is great at close and medium range combat as he deals decent damage and knockbacks to enemies. So if you are looking for a difficult character to master, RIPPER is definitely the one for you. Now moving on to some of his key movesets that you need to know. Now unlike any other, RIPPER is able to jump higher into the air by holding down the jump button. This is not a very good ability to move around quickly, but it is a great way to reach to higher spots. It also breaks crates upon landing from the hop. His next key moveset is his bowling bomb attack. When activated, he will stand on his bowling bomb, which automatically explodes after a few seconds. While on the bomb, RIPPER is able to move slightly faster than his usual movement speed. He will break crates along the way as well, and it explodes if anyone touches him while he is on the bomb. Additionally, he is able to toss his bowling bomb out forward by pressing the same button again, which deals damage at range. He can spam this as much as he wants as it has no cooldown. The bomb overall does decent damage and knockback, which makes it the go-to ability for RIPPER to attack enemies at both short and longer range. Now his next key moveset is the cannon launch. This is what makes RIPPER the most mobile blocker in the game as it launches him the further the longer you hold down the button. You will do an okay amount of damage to whichever spot you land on. Now do note that while charging your cannon, it can be cancelled by someone else, so make sure that no one is near you while you are doing this. Now the great thing about this skill is that it can save you from falling off the map as well, as it can be used while in mid-air. Now it is important to note that you are not able to stop yourself after launching, aside from using the cannon again after some time. So be extremely careful on where you are launching yourself into. And FYI, if somehow you need that small adjustment after the launch, you can still control RIPPER a little bit while rolling in the air. This is a great way to adjust yourself just a little bit in case you launch yourself at the wrong places. Now he also has a one-button kick. This is a pretty good ability at disturbing enemies while knocking them back, as it is the quickest way to disrupt the enemy from depositing their Wumpa fruits. Overall, his key movesets are pretty unique compared to other characters. He is still a pretty difficult character to play due to the complexity of his abilities, especially when using all of them together, but in the end, it is very rewarding if you know how to work your way around RIPPER. Now for the recommended powers. Any powers is actually good for him, but the one that stands out are the healing reach that allows you to stay in fights longer. Or you can even use the bounce crate to make some space for yourself just in case things get too hot. You can't heal yourself as RIPPER and you are not very tanky too, so an option to escape is always a good choice. Now for some tips and tricks with RIPPER is to number 1, roll on your bomb wisely. You can't double jump or use your cannon while you are on your bowling bomb, so try not to fall off the map while you are on it. Most of the time, that spells certain death for you. Number 2, use your cannon to gain a head start. RIPPER has one of the best long-range ability mobile skills, so use it to your advantage by taking advantage of jam pads at the start of the round early. Number 3, when fighting someone close to you, it is better to just stand on your bomb and touch them with it rather than trying to throw your bomb out to them. Most of the time, this will miss, and touching them is the best way to go at it, as you are ensured that you are also being protected at all times, because you are at your most dangerous while you are on your bowling bomb. Now for the alternative playstyle, RIPPER is one of the blockers that can fit as both scorer and booster extremely well. His ability to zip around the map is superb, he can hold a decent amount of Wumpa fruits, he can save himself from most of the dangerous situations, so overall he is pretty balanced in most aspects. So go ahead and play him as you see fit, as the possibilities with RIPPER are limitless. And that's not all. If you want to see more character guides, tips and tricks for Crash Team Rumble, click on the screen right now and I'll see you there.